And this week has sucked. So
FYI, Daisy's really upset.
I've had the worst week. It's been a bad week. Ella's licking me. It's been a bad week from a personal perspective, just because I had a lot of stuff going on work-wise, and I was super busy, and everything that could go wrong could go wrong. Have you ever had one of those weeks where, like, my computer stopped working yesterday, and I was supposed to run, meetings, and I had deadlines, and I still don't have a computer
because you had to talk to somebody in Bangladesh.
In freaking Bangladesh.
I don't get that. I mean, I get that where you work is a relatively large company, but they should have IT people on hand.
They do, but just not to help you.
They're just there. They're just there.
They're to go, they're there.
They're there. We have to talk to someone in Bangladesh now.
Call Bangladesh. It's a nightmare. So this week's been a nightmare. And then healthcare.
Yeah, so I had to talk you down from the ledge the day that the ruling came down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm negative Nancy, and she's the positive one.
I'm trying to be positive about this, although this is a struggle. I mean, this one...
And I went on a rampage on Facebook. I'll just be honest. I told Mock, I said I was a complete biatch all day, and I was just lashing out at people. I don't even remember half of what I said. I mean, seriously, I had to have, I think a family member reminded me of something I said to somebody earlier in the morning, like at 10:30 after the ruling went down, and I'm like, oh, I said that? Because I was so mad. I had the fury of a billion suns, like you would say. I was so mad. I'm still mad. I'm still in shock.
She wants you to
Ella wants me. My earring just came out.
Oh, don't eat it.
She's eating my earring.
Okay. So, as you were saying...
Sorry, I just got an earring ripped out of my head by a canine. Which I'm okay with. Yeah. Because Ella's the only entity I think that's not pissed me off this week.
Although she's getting close. Now she's...
No, she doesn't. She's a good girl. She's a sweet baby.
Yeah, so it is bad. And for those of you who are opposed to cussing, I can't promise that there's not going to be any in these videos.
I'm not. It's just been a bad week. So
it's effing awful.
It's effing awful. Here's how I have an analogy. And this is what really irritates me. I was thinking about this in the shower this morning. There's, this is the Democrats, liberals, they're the party of let's have peaceful parenting. God. Let's not do, we can't smack our kids' butts anymore. We have to discipline them by giving them time out and giving them an iPhone while they're in timeout. Okay, this is that party. And they're all so, you gotta be, everything is about the kids. And you Republicans are so mean and you don't care about the kids. But yet they have put so much debt onto my daughter's generation. To me, it's like going, okay, I am the best parent in the world. I'm so awesome. I'm so awesome. And I'm going to give Dandelion a credit card. I'm going to get a credit card in her name. I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to charge ridiculous amounts of money, ridiculous amounts of things onto this credit card, and I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, honey, you're going to have to pay for this when you're older. And I know you don't know what I'm doing, you have no idea what's going on, and you have no choice in the matter whatsoever, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to charge all of my debauchery to you. Yeah. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they say, oh, we're so compassionate and we care about the kids, and you guys don't care about kids and old people. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that because it's what this is it's a tax, obviously, as we know now, because we know that the president lied. Mm-hmm. Shocker. He lied. So we know now that it's a huge tax. We cannot afford this. I mean, I was an English major at an SEC school, for crying out loud. Even I understand this, okay? I don't have to be an economist to understand that this is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. It is. I'm sorry, I'm mad.
See, she gets really
mad.
Up.
And I'm mad because I feel like I look at my daughter and I think, God, I mean, there is just no way. She can't afford this, I mean, the kids and these 20-somethings who think, oh, everything's going to be free and I'm doing the right thing by voting Democrat because we're the compassionate party. You're not compassionate. You're passing the buck to another generation and you just don't give a crap. And you think that it's all going to work out and it's all going to be sunshine and unicorn farts, but it's not, because we cannot afford this. Yeah. It is as simple as a home budget. I know what I can afford. I know what I can't. I know right now what I cannot. I mean, I try not to use credit cards. I hate them. I know that there are certain things I can't afford, so I do not buy them.
That's right. That's called being
It's
being
called
responsible about your finances.
personal responsibility.
Yes,
Yeah.
fiscal responsibility, being practical and not spending more than you actually take in. It's really not a hard concept, but Washington apparently doesn't.
No, it's a very hard concept, I think, this day and age.
Yeah, well, and I think people just hear about all the stuff they're going to get, and they think, oh, well, we're this wealthy country, and we should just be providing these things, and healthcare is a right, and all that other nonsense. And as Bill Whittle said in that video so well, it's not a right. If you're requiring the services of someone else who has had to have years and years of training and has had to pay a lot of money to get that training, then you are not entitled to that service that they provide.
And where does it stop? Where does it stop? Because we're at a point now where this has been passed through by a bunch of lawyers, basically. Mm-hmm. That's another shock. So we've got a bunch of lawyers who have said, okay, this is constitutional. It was 5-4. We were all shocked.
But at least in their at least when they wrote their opinion, it was very clear that they thought it was all a huge pile of crap.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's still been deemed constitutional, right. And liberals are still on the left going, "We won, bitches!" Because that's exactly what I'm sorry, and I'm not cussing because I just feel like cussing. That is what the DNC. That is one of the DNC people came out and said, "We won, bitches."
Classy, yeah, and I
professional.
I am on the Obama mailing list because I like to see the emails that their people are getting, and I'm amazed, first of all, at the desperation and how often they come. I mean, we're talking 3 a day. It's ridiculous how much they just bombard you with their crap. But the latest one, and I think it was the official Obama campaign manager who listed off, some stuff that they need to do, that they need to accomplish now between now and the election. And one of the things they said is that they need to win the damn election, which is classy for an official campaign.
Well, they're trying to reach out to the 20-somethings, and they think it's cool to say, damn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Look, an adult said, damn. Hey there, Miss Ella. Hello. So, I mean, but what I look at this, and it's way beyond healthcare.
Yeah.
This is so far reaching, because what they've done is they've said, we want to push something down your throats, and more than half of the American population does not want this. So what he did was he pushed it through. He did whatever he needed to do to ram it through, despite the fact that most of us don't want it.
Yeah.
So he rammed it through, and now what he's done is we're in a situation where it's become a tax. So who's to say that in 5 years, I don't know, 3 years, whatever, who's to say that he's just not going to say, you know what, I really wish that everybody had purple cars. And if you don't buy a purple car.
They'd be electric too.
Electric purple cars that are the size of a moped.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't buy that car, then I can't really mandate you to buy it, but I can tax you.
If you don't.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a tax. So people don't understand the far-reaching implications of this. This is not just about healthcare. This is so monumental, and I try to explain that to the young people in my life, and I don't know if they get it. I don't know if they understand how monumental this is, but it is.
It's ridiculous.
It's so not just about healthcare, and I think that's what when you start screaming socialism, of course liberals will come at you and go, I'm so sick of hearing you Republicans talking tinfoil hat. It's socialism. Yeah. It's freaking socialism. I mean, let's call it what it is. Yeah. It's like if it looks like a duck and walks like it's a freaking duck. And I saw on a lot of my liberal friends, I guess Facebook pages and whatnot, I made the big mistake of fighting with people the other day. That was just stupid. Stupid, Daisy.
That's why your blood pressure is up.
Stupid. But I know one of my liberal friends made the comment, and I remember seeing it, and I was like, oh my God. He made the comment where he said, I am a little concerned that there are going to be a lot of big companies and mid-sized companies that are going to drop people because the penalty is in the hundreds of dollars. And the actual insurance is in the thousands of dollars that they have to pay for me. I know my company pays a lot more than a couple $100s for my insurance.
It's actually $2,000 per full-time employee.
Yeah, and it's what, $700? Oh, it's $2,000?
The employer has to pay a penalty of $2,000 per full-time employee if they do not.
And is that coverage every year?
Yeah.
That's so much cheaper.
So much cheaper.
So they're going to drop people.
Of course they
will. And
will.
we are going to go into a single payer system. And if you think otherwise, then you are smoking crack.
Which is one of
Do
our.
you smoke crack?
I don't. I'm thinking about.
I mean, but I'm asking. No, but I don't know. What do you do with crack? I'm serious. I said smoking crack. I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, that's not the right way to take it, Daisy. Because everybody out there is so critical this week. God. We didn't go to the right freaking restaurant this morning.
Yeah. So, of course they're going to drop. Somebody commented, I can't remember who now. Actually, I can, but I'm not going to name them. But somebody commented on our site in response to the talk about us moving to single payer, because that's, of course, where we're moving. And he said, that doesn't even matter because that's not the argument today. That's not what we're having to fight against today. And I'm thinking, of course it is, because if you have to fight against the first step to that in order to avoid it.
It's so we are on the path.
We're on the path, and you know who said we're on the path yesterday is Michael Moore. He was, with the whole "Hey, what up, bitches" attitude. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, Republicans just need to get on board because this is the first step to single payer." And the first time in my life, I completely agree with him. Of course we are. That's exactly what Obama has planned from day one. And this is the way that he wants to do it. And that's what, liberals have been screaming for. They want universal health care. They want socialized medicine. They want all of that. And so once we start on this path, it's going to be impossible to get off this moving train.
I think
And think of the billions that have already been spent.
Oh yeah, and it's lliterally already, my premiums are already going up. Yeah. They're already going up. And if yours aren't, then you're not paying attention because they are.
Well, and that's the thing is that none of this cuts costs. I mean, it just explodes costs. It's going to cost a lot to have it, first of all, but then it's not going to do anything to bring premiums down.
And it cuts what, $500 billion out of Medicare?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Everything about it is just wrong.
But Democrats don't care because they think, and I saw a lot of this the other day, finally, we're like every other country where we care about our people. Seriously?
Oh
you think we don't care about our people? How about caring about the people in your house first?
Yeah.
I care about my daughter so much that I look at this and I think, I don't even know what kind of a country she's going to grow up in.
I know.
It frightens me.
I
don't have a tinfoil hat. I don't really look that great in hats. I try not to wear a lot of them.
And tinfoil is not your color.
It's just not. That is just not my color. I'm more of like a gold,
I can see you in some gold.
Maybe
foil.
some gold just because of the yellow undertones. So we had another question about the healthcare.
Yes. How it would affect the field of medicine.
Well, I have a sister who's a nurse, and she's freaking out. So if that gives you any indication. And I have a lot of friends who are doctors, a lot of friends, and I work primarily with scientists and doctors every day of my life. Yeah, that's my day job. And I will tell you that people are not overly thrilled about this. And I think it'll completely transform both the medical field and the pharmaceutical field. I think innovation is going to go out the door. I think, and I'm not saying it's going to happen And I'm not saying it's going to happen in a year. I'm just saying that it will happen because especially if we go to a single payer and it's socialized medicine.
Yeah.
I don't care what you liberals want to call it. That's what it is. It's socialized medicine. Welcome to the UK. And that I just think it's going to kill innovation. It's going to kill the industry with the fact that a lot of kids now that are going into school, they're going to be like, screw this, I'm not going to become a doctor. Are you kidding? Why bother? I'm not going to go through 1,000 years of school to get out and make, $50,000 or whatever. I don't even know.
And it's hard enough for them to get paid now if they're like accepting, patients with Medicare and all that kind of stuff. It's already... They're already
bogged down in so much red tape. And then there's all the, the lawsuits and malpractice, all the malpractice stuff they got to deal with. I mean, it is so expensive to be a doctor these days. It's nice to say, oh, they make a lot of money. Yeah, they make a good living. But you know what? I don't think they make any better of a living than anybody who's working in a corporate job that's a director level or some sort of manager level. Honestly, when you look at what they make as opposed to what they have to pay in malpractice, especially if you're like an OBGYN or an anesthesiologist, God help you, because you're playing God every day, you know? I mean, so people are litigious. You've got to have tons of insurance. It's just the way it works. And I know emergency room doctors who have quit the field because of malpractice, because they have helped people and they put themselves on the line to help people. And then what do they get? People sue them.